Hello, my sweeties. Listen, I have an idea. Let's just talk about children tonight. Yeah, children. Lately, I've come across parents that don't know the children. No, not at all. You know, when we were born, our parents weren't as smart as we were. I'll grant you, I'm not saying that's wrong, but it's just that it's a generation thing. But we're smarter. So when we give birth, our children are smarter. A matter of fact, they're so smart, they think we're dumb. P.S. Not so. I think new parents, most of all, should always find time for their children. And I don't necessarily mean taking them to the park or going out and buying clothes for them or giving them what they want. No, 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 no. What I'm talking about is knowing your child. Knowing when the dispositions change. Knowing when they're unhappy. Knowing when they're extremely happy. Knowing when they're getting sluggish. When their work's dying down. Their schoolwork's in a blunder. Their life seems to be going into a crapper. But you see, in order to know all this, you have to pay attention. Oh, I know. Each one of you out there is saying, I do pay it. No, 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 no. You don't. Recently, I had an occasion to talk to someone who was hearing voices for a long time. Guess what? Their parents didn't know. No, parents didn't have idea one. And then they were doing drugs and whatever. Nicest kid you'd ever want to meet. Love him to death. But all of this was going on and they didn't see it. Now figure that out if you will. And he lives under their roof. I truly believe that we hear our children but we don't listen. Listening is a wonderful thing. It's so different than hearing. It really is. I can say to you, I've got $50 in the bank. And you can hear that, but you didn't listen. You see, because normally I wouldn't have any money in the bank. So if you didn't wonder where I got it from, you weren't listening. You have to listen. Listening is an important factor. You have to have eye contact. You have to be able to see their faces, see their eyes. Don't be overly abundant, nosy. Just ask strategic questions. Like you haven't seen a report card by December. Say, hey, didn't you get a report card? You know, it's Christmas. If they come home and they go to the refrigerator and it's really not that normal and they go for something sweet, pay attention. Very good idea. Oh, and you new moms, you tell, oh, but they're so young. Let me tell you something. If you don't know what your child is from the beginning, you don't know when it changes. You can't see the changes if you don't know what your child is from the beginning. Tough call, not an easy job. But you gotta do it. A matter of fact, I believe all you new moms, if you would start out with a quiet time, 10, 15 minutes a day, just you and them. I don't care if it's in the bathroom while they're brushing their teeth. I don't care if you sit on the end of their bed when you're getting them up in the morning. And I don't care if you sit at the end of their bed when you're putting them to bed at night. The important thing is that you see them, you take inventory, you know their moods, you can almost guess if something's bothering them or not. And the older you get, the easier it is for you to see what they're really doing. Yeah. Tough job, but it's got to be done. Because you can lose your children. Yeah, and you can actually you can misplace them. In your head, you say, "Oh, I know where they are, and they're not doing anything wrong." P.S. They're doing something wrong, and they're not what you think they are, because you did not listen. You heard, but you didn't listen. See, there's a way for a kid to say, "Okay, Mom, Johnny's picking me up, and we're going to the movies." Now, believe me, if they're going to the movies, they're not going to be overjoyed and happy and ecstatic and whipping out the door at 92.5 miles an hour. No, they're not. She's going to slowly get her code, and he's going to get to the door, and she's going to do the goodnight miles, and we'll see in about a few hours, couple of hours, however long the movie takes. We'll go for coffee, we'll be home. Now, on the other hand, if they're not going to the movies, but you heard them say they were, watch what happens. See what she's wearing, or he's wearing. See if it's something that they would wear to the movies, or is it something they would wear going to a party, or is it something they would wear going on a car ride, or anything other than the movies. There are little things you gotta look for. It's never the big things, it's the little things that you can catch. But like I said, if you do not pay attention to your child from day one, you're gonna have a problem. Oh, and the mothers I like the most are the ones that say, "Oh, that could be my kid." Meanwhile, guess who raised them? The nannies. Those are the ones I really like. How the hell do they know whether it's their kid or not? They don't know the kid. But we'll stand there and say, "Couldn't possibly be my child. My child couldn't do that. I have a good kid." Well, you might have had a good kid, but the kid had a bad mother. Having someone else bring up your child is not always a good thing, because you don't know the child. And knowing your child is one of the most important things on the face of this earth. You don't have to spend hours with them. You really don't. 10, 15 minutes a day. And like I said, it doesn't matter whether it's breakfast or whether it's getting them up, sitting on the edge of the bed. It doesn't matter. Make it a habit. 10 minutes. And they get a little older, have them help you out in the kitchen for a few minutes. Tell them you want to teach them how to make a cake. If you're in watching television, tell them what would you like to watch for a couple of minutes of commercial. Use any excuse. And then chit-chat and watch. Learn to know when your child is becoming someone else. There are stages children go through. And needless to say, I haven't got the time to mention them all. But I'll tell you this. They're important stages. And I truly hope that you can refine yourself enough and have that 15 minutes a day to find out what stage your child is in so that you don't lose them. Anyway, I will finish this conversation tomorrow night. But I love you all, and sweet dreams. Grandma Shao saying good night. Auf Wiedersehen. Have a good one, and let the angels guide you through the night. I love you all. Bye-bye.